はじめまして、ジェレミー・アンダーソンです。ジェレミーと呼んでください。出身はアメリカのミネソタ州です。建築家です。病院を作ってます。趣味はカクテルを作ることです。実は YouTube やってます。名前はキルデブル、ラムとカクテルです。10月、日本に行きます。もし、時間が合えば、ぜひ会いましょう。
Feel like learning Japanese is too damn hard for you? Stop slaving away at grammar, words, and spelling. Now there's a better way to learn how to speak Japanese like a normal guy. Welcome to Terumi's podcast. Let's learn Japanese in just 2 months with Terumi's learning method.
So Jeremy-san, thank you so much for joining this YouTube channel. How you feel?
I feel pretty good. It's an early morning for me,
Amazing.
But I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's really early morning. It's 5 a.m. in Minnesota, right?
Hi. Yes.
Amazing. I remember when we met for the first time in the consultation, it was also the early morning. So I guess you study early morning?
I do. I have 2 dogs that wake me up pretty early anyway. So I figured might as well study some Japanese while I'm here.
And especially like for the listener, like think, oh, like why you live in the States and you learning Japanese? Like people actually really think, because it's a lot of people live in Japan, even they cannot learn, and even live in the States, it's even harder. So
Yes.
Can you explain why you started learning Japanese?
Well, I married a Japanese woman, and I would, we go back to Japan to visit her family every year or so. And we've been doing that for 13 years. And every time I come back and say, oh, I have to learn some Japanese, and I never have. So I finally decided it's time to do it.
Especially this year, we have quite more students who live in the States, actually. But I think it's most of people difficult to learn, even difficult to start learning, because mostly they're living in the States and 100% English environment. What was actually the motivation? It's really hard, it's because a few times in your life you go to Japan.
Right. It is very hard. And I think part of it is just dedicating some time. Being able to talk to my wife helps a little bit, but we've got the long habit of talking in English. And I don't want my wife to be my instructor. So it just takes some time to dedicate to it. And also it really helps practicing the conversations by myself if I have to. So ask myself questions and then practice answering the questions. And then just a lot of it is just repetition, just doing it over and over again until you get it down.
So like since when you start feeling like, oh, maybe my wife's Japanese, maybe I have to start learning, like since when you were feeling?
I felt it every time I went to Japan to visit her parents. She was constantly translating for us because I could only speak English and they speak very little English. And every time I'd say, I need to learn some Japanese, but then I'd come back to the United States and not do it because everyone around me speaks English. So eventually I just decided I have to do it.
Amazing. Before you started master course, what kind of thing you have tried? I'm sure, maybe you try something with a textbook or something.
Right. Yes, I did try with a tutor for a little bit. But she was only interested in writing, so all the kanji and hiragana and the katakana. So I learned a lot of that, and I could read those characters and make the sounds, but I couldn't put sentences together. So that was very difficult because I wanted to be able to speak to people while she wanted to be able to read things. So the match wasn't quite good that way. I also tried Duolingo for a while, and that was very difficult because it's kind of hunting and pecking and trying to guess what they're trying to say to you without having any translations. It just didn't stick at all.
So then you actually found our company, but it's how did you find? Because it's there are too many choices, Rosetta Stone, Duolingo, a lot of teachers all over the world.
The last time I went back from Japan, I started looking up like, oh, maybe I'll try Babbel, maybe I'll try Rosetta Stone, and so I did search online, and about that time, an advertisement for your company came through my Instagram feed. I thought, oh, this one sounds interesting, and they seem to have a different approach. So I thought, I ran it by my wife, and she said, this kind of makes sense. Practice conversation is what I want, and that's what you advertise, and so that's what we've been doing.
Amazing. So, in our school, we say that you can learn how to speak. You can start speaking right after 2 months. And
Hmm.
now actually it's a kind of after 2 months, Jeremy-san. How was
Hmm.
it?
The one thing for me is that I do not live in Japan. I think it would be easier to learn if I did there. As it is, I'm mostly practicing by myself. Um,
Mm,
so that was my one consideration. But at the same time, I knew that I could learn if I had to. I especially like the approach, practice conversation, practice talking, because that's what you need to do. I think you actually say in the course that it's about muscle memory in your mouth, and I
yeah.
believe that's true. As long as you practice something, you'll get better at it. So no matter
Mm-hmm.
where you live, you can practice and get better. You can learn something. Because
Exactly. Amazing. So, like Jeremy-san, right now you actually really introduce yourself, and also you have a lot of conversation about cocktail. Can you talk about it? How you actually practice in everyday life?
well, yeah, my hobby is making cocktails, so that's one of my primary interests, and I think that's part of the uh, desire to speak Japanese because I want to travel Japan by myself and go to these famous cocktail lounges and talk to people in Japanese about the cocktails they're making.
You actually go to Japan coming October, right?
I am, yes, I'm very excited. I'm going to be in Tokyo,
Amazing.
Gifu, Kobe, and Nagasaki.
Mm-hmm. Especially one of the greatest things is because you're gonna go to Japan alone and discover
Mhm.
by yourself, not to rely on your wife, right?
Right, right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
what was actually this, idea? Because it's a lot of people can't do it. Oh, my
Hmm.
wife,
Hmm.
can translate everything for me. It's very difficult. It's I think amazing decision that it's like you discover the country,
Hmm.
for your wife to really understand by yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, it was
Mm.
actually her idea. She says, if you're going to spend all this money learning Japanese, then you better go to Japan and see if you can actually do it. And so that was the goal.
Ah, I see. Yeah, this is amazing idea actually.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a reward for
Mm-hmm.
finishing. It's a goal. Like you said, if you have a desire and a focus to do something, then it gives you a reason to
Mm.
continue doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, what is your plan in Japan? What you wanna do? Of course, you're gonna visit cocktail place, and you can even discover maybe Japanese cocktails like the
Hmm.
sake or like shochu. We have a lot of different alcohols.
Right. Yeah, I'm
Mm,
still finalizing my plan at this point, but I'm going to start in Tokyo and then I'm going to Gifu
mm,
where there's another student in the program here who has an Italian restaurant in Gifu, so I want to visit
mm.
that.
Oh yes, and Lucas. Yeah.
Hmm. There's a world famous tiki bar in Kobe that I want to visit. And then there are two of the top 50 cocktail lounges in Asia in Tokyo that I want to visit those as well.
Mm,
Um, and then I have some
mm-hmm.
friends in Nagasaki, which I'm going to go visit, and we'll do some other stuff.
Amazing. Yeah, it sounds like a really best plan, especially
Hmm.
you like the cocktail, so you can actually maybe have a conversation with the bartender.
Right. That's the
Mm-hmm.
hope. That's
Mm-hmm. So about the relationship with your wife, because we have a lot of couples like a Japanese wife and American husband. It's really common in our community. And
mhm.
the best is of course they can learn each other, English, Japanese, both. If they can be bilingual, that would be the best.
Mhm.
Most of the time is only the wife is bilingual and then the
Right.
American husband is only English speaker.
Hmm.
That's actually really common, and it's really sometimes going to be a problem, when they are raising children and I don't
Right.
understand what the children is talking or what my wife is talking. So like, as an international couple, like you actually really make an effort right now to try
Right.
understand even your wife country culture. So
Hmm.
do you have any advice for those international couple?
Um, yes, it is worth the effort. She's been enjoying
Mm,
me talking to her because I make cocktails at home and she loves that. But now I can talk to her about the cocktail in Japanese, and it just adds an extra layer of enjoyment for her. And she really does
mm-hmm.
appreciate it that I'm trying to learn. That was one of her goals is she really wanted to be with somebody who wanted to understand the culture and the language because she's
Mm.
gone through the work to understand ours. Why can't we go through the work to understand theirs?
Mm-hmm. And also some actually, couple. they start complaining, my wife doesn't teach me, my wife is
Mm-hmm.
not helping my Japanese or something. What about this? Your opinion?
In my opinion, it's better to go to a different instructor. Don't rely on your wife or your husband to teach you that language. It
Mm.
just complicates the relationship, and not everyone is as good a student as they think they are, or everyone's as good an instructor as they think they are. So it's better to go to
Mm.
professionals and do it and learn it that way.
Yeah, my opinion also the same. It's because your wife or your partner is working every day. It's so busy, and
Mhm.
in the end of the day, you just want to relax at the home with your partner, and the partner asking, "Okay, now it's the time to teach me the language." It's really
Right,
kind of tough, right?
right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So yeah, you actually really work on yourself, and then you have a big actually goal to go to Japan, and that's something, it's a big accomplishment for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I'm very excited for my trip. Looking forward to seeing
Hmm.
what I can do with my Japanese.
Yeah, and if it's gonna be fun for you, you should definitely do every maybe 1 year, every 2 years, right?
Right, yes. Travel a little bit by myself.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any advice for the people who maybe already have a Japanese partner, not living in Japan, and maybe they are thinking to learn Japanese, but difficult to start up, maybe because it's the environment is everyday English, difficult to push themselves to learn, or the relationship, yeah, my wife is not teaching me or helping me. It's a lot of actually problem for sure.
Right.
Um, when they cannot learn but they want to learn, do you have any advice step by step, what should we do?
Yeah, just number one, just start now. Because like I
Mm.
said, I've been saying to myself for 13 years. Where would I be now if I'd started 13 years ago? So start now. Number two, you can do it a little bit at a time. Sometimes I only practice 20 minutes a day, and most people can find 20 minutes a day. If you can't find 20 minutes a day, look for 5 minutes a day. Just keeping that stuff in your brain consistently through the course of the day helps. So 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, that will help a lot. Those would be probably my big two pieces of advice. Start now and find a little bit of time because it doesn't take a lot.
Amazing. And I think number three is, I think, reward, something like when you
Yes,
accomplish, you want to
definitely.
do something fun, right?
Yes, definitely. That helps. So give
So you
yourself
can
a
motivate
goal.
yourself.
Exactly.
Are you expat live in Japan? You started living in Japan, you're super excited to communicate with locals. You can enjoy traveling, meeting people. And now you start using this textbook and you feel like, wow, that's so many. Elementary school textbook, another elementary school textbook, and how many hours should you study? Let's think one more time. In order to communicate like a normal guy, you can do everything in the basic everyday life. Should you finish all those textbooks? Otherwise, you won't understand what they're talking. You cannot express yourself, anything. First of all, there are always two ways to learn languages. One is documentational language, the other one is conversational language. It's like, once upon a time, grandmother and grandfather are living somewhere. Or, hey, what's up? How's it going? Which is conversational. What is the most effective way to learn how to speak Japanese? Textbooks can't talk to you, so you cannot improve your listening skill and pronunciation, how to communicate. So why Japanese children can speak Japanese so quickly? Because they are learning conversational Japanese. The good news is, in Japan Language Factory, we have a specific learning structure to improve your conversational Japanese. So you can join the conversation, you can understand what they're talking, you can respond quickly, and express what you are thinking. If you want to be able to speak Japanese as soon as possible, join our free consultation to figure out what is the fastest way to start speaking Japanese.